Hello there. It is is March 10th of 2025. It's close to 6:30 or so right now. Just had dinner. Today's been a good day, I think. I know I was mentally stressing out over some stuff earlier, but it's not too bad, you know. And, you know, today's weather's been pretty peaceful, and, yeah, I do have some homework I gotta do for my accounting class, but it's not too bad. You know, both of my classes today were nice. I wasn't enthusiastic about getting up earlier again for work, so that's why the time change here over this weekend, and I'm kind of wishing I had, try to readjust myself back to school sleep schedule before today, because I almost was like kept on just like about to like crash, doze out, doze off, whatever. During one of my classes today, it was a shame, but it's fine now. Yeah, so I'm kind of thinking that, not out of necessarily particularly large plans yet, but kind of just for my own sort of peace a little bit, and also for, convenience for the audience. I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to make, I don't know if I'll do it tonight, but thinking in the near future, next couple of days at some point, I'm going to try to make myself a some kind of weekly or monthly sort of like video schedule or something like that. Very basic one, because I'm not, again, like, I don't really have too many subscribers right now, but anyway, everyone who has subscribed, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. We're at 65, 66 subscribers, I think it is right now. And my current goal is actually to reach 100 subscribers before Easter. So if you want to help me with that, if you enjoy my videos, yeah, feel free to like them, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. Appreciate it. Where was I? Yeah, so I'll make some, I think, some kind of just very basic schedule. So, I don't know how it'll look like or what exactly be everything on it and all that, but yeah, just some very rudimentary model, nothing too much on there, especially since I'm kind of just wanting to take it easy. I'm proud that I've gotten a lot of videos out, but I think I don't know, I might change my mind, but I was thinking I was kind of, I don't know. I felt a little stressed out trying to get Minecraft videos and whatnot out that frequently as I did. So, I'm just gonna see, with the schedule, how I'd like to do those, posting them and all that. But, especially since I'd also, I don't know, I might just, especially since the weather is kind of nice, I might want to have more times where I'm just, enjoying being outside, or, playing games without recording stuff, because I don't always feel, the need to record what I'm playing. I mean, even though some of it would be very interesting, on top of that, also, I don't know, might find some kind of activity or two, every once in a while that I might be a part of. I mean, I don't really do much of anything for any clubs, organizations, unfortunately, but I don't know, I might find something. But that does make me think a little bit. So, I wonder, if I will, excuse me, I wonder if I'll join any sort of, clubs or activities or anything like that, when I'm in Sydney later this year. So yeah, so also, if you're watching my videos yet, well, don't know that I got accepted to a study abroad program for this fall semester. Be from July to November, and I'll be in Sydney, Australia, University of Sydney. So super excited. Very, very, it's super cool to me to know that I'm for sure, I'm going there, right? This is not just some possibility. This is like a distinct, this is it's a distinct reality now. And so it feels super cool. And so, I'm pretty excited to see what will happen. The people I'll meet, experiencing, the Australian culture for myself firsthand. And the memories I'll make, everything about it, I suppose. I mean, I imagine especially the first 2, maybe 3 weeks or so, I'll probably, I imagine I might very well feel this way the entire time, perhaps, but I'll definitely feel like quite a lot, my whole sort of, world as the way that I've experienced it kind of, expanded twofold or threefold or whatever, I don't know. It just be expanded quite a lot, right? See a very different place in the world. So yeah, pretty excited. Open for the best, and over this next few months, just make sure I do all the, necessary research and preparation and whatnot for that. Already got some scholarships and whatnot set up, and sure I might get maybe a few more on top of that too. So yeah, do some jobs over this summer so I can get some extra cash, because I'll probably want to have some, but nonetheless, yeah. So what's the next thing here? What else? Well, I don't really know too much. I mean, just get back into the swing of things here for real. And readjusting to, college and work and all that good stuff. But I think today was fairly nice. And the weather is definitely really nice now. It was cold this morning, but at some point, or this afternoon, it got much better. So that's good. So I don't know, I might, I gotta do the homework stuff and whatnot, but I don't know, I might try to, hopefully, spend some more time out here, because it's very nice. Anyhow, yeah, I don't know, and I was also just thinking a little bit, not really, too hard, but again, I was just, kind of pops in my mind of whole thing of like, well, I wonder if, I don't know, not really too worried, kind of just gonna sort of, take my time, figure things out as I go along and whatnot, but, right, I do wonder, when I will meet my future partner. Because for all I know, it could be, within the rest of the school year. It could be, when I'm abroad. It could be at the, it could be, 5 years after college is done, or it could be when I'm a senior. I have honestly no idea. But I don't know. But I got plenty of my life ahead of me, so it's pretty good. Another sort of curiosity of mine is that I do wonder how, not just in terms of knowledge, right, or personal, resource management skills or anything like that, but how my time abroad will alter, change, influence me as a person, or my beliefs or behaviors. I'm really curious to see what sort of lessons I learn, because I feel like that there's some really cool things ahead that I just don't know. I just don't know what they are. But I'm not upset about that. I know I've often talked about, I think about like future worries and concerns and not knowing stuff with certainty. But I think there's a positive side to that too, and that's there's surprises. There's good things that can happen in life that you totally didn't expect, or you can kind of get to enjoy the process of. And I think that's a very nice part of life. I think we, myself included, understandably so, but we often really focus on the negative, I feel like. From what I know from psychology research, but I think that there is a positive aspect of it too. So, but yeah, I also know I've definitely been told a lot of good things about Sydney, or just Australia in general. Of course, I don't think it's perfect, and I'm well aware of. I've learned some more of some of its problems. Like, for example, housing crisis, or representation of was it some of the Aboriginal peoples. So I'd also be very curious to see if and how I might get to interact with any Aboriginal peoples there. I don't know if I will or not, but I think it could be really cool. Really nice getting to do that. Although I really do hope to to learn necessary information, because I don't want to. I'm going to be culturally sensitive. I don't want to do anything that is, rude, or touch upon anything that's taboo, or, do or say anything that would be considered, insulting. I just want to be as respectful as I can be. Right. So, yeah, but again, that kind of goes with any place, any people in the world, right? Especially as if you're a person and you're not from somewhere and you're going to somewhere else, I think you really want to do your best to honor, the people, the culture that live there, right? Since that's their land, right? That's where many of them have their heritage from, right? So yes, I'll just keeping that in mind. Anyhow, oh, I said this already in the last video. I don't know if I haven't released it yet as of the time I'm making this video, but I don't know if you've seen my, the last video, daily walk video I did yesterday, but, yeah, I got a haircut. My dad's the one who normally cuts my hair. Very nice of him. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, I know that a lot of people have been like, oh, your hair looks way nicer, longer. And, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree about that. I think it often does look better, longer. But the thing is, I really like to ask those people, have you tried, having, longer curly hair? I've never had like long hair, right? But I mean, the longest I ever had it was probably about shoulder length, right? But still, and it's like, well, because it's heavy, and then it gets in your face, in your eyes, and then sometimes it's really annoying to wash, and it takes forever to dry, and I mean, I don't really think it's a curly hair exclusive thing. I mean, I think it really could be for anyone who has, if you just simply have more hair to wash, it's going to take longer. I mean, duh. But I don't know. I mean, it's always super weird too, because it's like every time that like I get my hair cut, I'm like, oh yeah, I keep on forgetting like how much lighter it feels without all of that, how much weight it actually is. It's crazy. But, anyhow. So, yeah. Yep, did that. Had that happen recently enough. So, yeah, I don't really know, honestly, too much more what to say right off the bat. I feel like I've probably said most of the stuff that I've, wanted to within this last few videos. But nothing really too new beyond any of those. I mean, some of the stuff, right? I mean, I already kind of gotten past midterm era here of this, the second half of my the second part of my freshman year college, so I already had that pass, already had spring break pass, already had a bunch of things already happen, and then a lot of stuff that will happen, it's just the period before summer. But I don't know, I mean, I'm curious to see, besides maybe doing some jobs with my dad, I don't really know specifically all the stuff we do, or if I might have to do something else. I mean, I don't know, it's not fully decided yet anyways. It's just probability and a little bit more practical solution than trying to work here at the school, although I don't know, I might do that too, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I'm curious to see if there's any other activities or, I don't know, social things that I'll do. The summers are really weird for me. Have been for a long time. And, and I'm not just talking about, like one or two times, but talking about like a very frequent sort of experience I have with them. And that's the thing of, okay, so when it's during the summer, oftentimes, I often felt like, well, I'm kind of just sitting around and I'm not really doing much of anything, right? And it's often super boring, and then it's also really hot, you got all the bugs everywhere, whatnot, fun stuff. But then I'll be like, I also very kind of appreciate, not having to do schoolwork, right? And I don't know, I think this is I don't think this is my personal experience alone, but I don't know. It's probably just, readjusting to change. I think it's probably what it is. I mean, it has to say because I'm, introverted, or I don't know, maybe I have some kind of small amount of social anxiety on occasion. I don't know. Something, right? It's like every time that I go back to school, or even new school, right? From middle to high, or high to here at college, right? It's like I feel like a little anxious, but I mean it's not really like that bad, to be real. It's mostly just, again, I think it's mostly just readjusting to, or getting acclimated to any different school stuff, whether it be the newest level, whatever that might have been in. I mean, as far as I'm aware right now, I mean, after I graduate, I mean, that might very well just be the last year of school I ever have in my life. But I don't know that for certain, because, I mean, it's also entirely possible. I mean, I don't know what for or anything like that, but, just for the sake of the conversation, I might go back to school at some point to get a higher degree or a different degree or something like that, or get more experience in a particular, career field. I don't know, for certain skill sets. We'll just see. We'll see. But I don't know. But yeah, I do get a little anxious with that. Going back into school, but I don't know. I guess sometimes that also happens with, although not quite as much the same. It's a little lesser feeling. Like when, if I have like a longer break or something. We'll say like Christmas break or something, right? Because it's like 2-3 weeks, something like that, right? On average, here, and so I'll go home, have the break, and then I'll go back to school, and I'll feel a little, I don't know, shy, and I kind of I don't really talk too much, or I feel a little bit more anxious about doing so. Maybe until a few days have passed again, and then I get used to school again. I don't know. I think I made my point, well clear enough. I'll stop talking about that. But, yeah. But yeah, I mean, career speaking, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I still don't really know, but one thing that someone close to me talked to me about a little bit the other day, back at home, was or maybe misremembering was something I saw, when I did a little research online or something. I don't know, maybe both. I forget exactly what it was, when it was that often people around my age, at this point in their lives, might sort of feel the thing of like, well, I gotta figure out like the one perfect job, or the one career path that I'm gonna have for the rest of life, and especially I imagine a lot of that pressure is due to the way that we set up our schools, the sort of attitudes that a lot of the staff have or are ingrained with, which I know that I don't know, maybe it doesn't seem that way at all. But to me, might seem a little bit, pointing the fingers, which I suppose is exactly what I'm doing. But, I don't think it's exclusive to them. I think it's kind of, I don't know, I don't know if it's like a cultural thing or just maybe simply just, a lot of young people just like myself, wanting to sort of feel like, your whole plan, you got your whole life planned out or something like that, right? And, I mean, how often does that actually, how often does life go according to what, one's personal plans or ambitions are? Sorry. And, well, I mean, I don't know what the rate, percentage, anything like that would be. If you could even measure that. But, what sort of criteria we're even talking about, how we measure, what we're asking for. But, nonetheless, but again, like I said earlier, right, like, whether it's with, relationships, but it could also, be jobs, really anything, there's a positive thing that sometimes life can surprise you. Sometimes really good things can happen, so, and I don't know, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I do kind of get the feeling, I don't know, maybe I was understanding or something like that, but I kind of get the feeling that, going to Sydney later this year, for the semester, I don't know how much it might be, because, especially, the old, academic stuff and whatnot, but still, regardless, that aside, or included, I don't know, that I might, I might feel, it might be a little easier for me to sort of relax, and to, I might become a more sort of chilled out person. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people say, well, not like a lot of people, but, a fair amount of people, when they're, some friends, some classmates, whatnot, they're like, you seem like a pretty chill sort of person, and I really like that. I think I can see that. I think, like, externally, I often am. Internally, not always necessarily the case, but, sometimes. I do like being that way, though. I don't know. But, again, I don't know. I'll be curious to see what sort of ways I might change as a person, or what sort of lessons I'll learn, regardless of, if they feel more initially positive or negative. I don't know. Preferably positive, not gonna lie, but, Anyhow, the daily walk view has been a little, on the longer side. It's, almost 30 minutes or so, which, I know it's, quite long, and it is, I do some of my videos are not really that easy for people to watch, not because of the way I do the videos, but simply just because, I'm just so damn busy all the time, I don't know, but one of these sort of, things I feel like I personally value that I might, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but, maybe it really just depends on the job I get or something, but I feel like I'm somewhat more likely to get or be, at least surrounded by a culture of, have one more people that have very similar sort of attitude on this of, like, I work hard, right? Push yourself to do stuff and learn and grow, but, also, have, value having some time to yourself, or to do things that you just really like doing, right? And then not for money, not for a job, not for because you need to, but simply just because you want to, enjoy your life and enjoy your passions, and just relax and go with the flow, right? So I don't know. I mean, I feel like I might very well encounter that sort of a somewhat similar attitude, at least something like that, in the land down under. So I mean, I don't know if there's any if any of my viewers, either current as of the time that I'm making this video, or in the future, all viewers who watch this video would be watching in the future of me making this video. Whatever. Oh, hopefully you know what I mean. Right. Yeah, if there's any of my viewers, current or further out in the future, who are Australian, tell me in the comment section down below. Or if by some chance, if I show this video or send a link to, or I don't know, or something like that, whatever. If when I go there, and maybe I make some friends there and whatnot, if at least one of them sees this video, yeah, tell me what you think. Although I don't know, maybe by that time I've already asked. Maybe I've already asked, or kind of just gathered the sort of information for myself. I don't know. We'll see. I as of the time of making this video, I genuinely do not know. But anyhow, so yeah. Anyways, I was gonna say a certain Australian slang term to finish this off, but I think it's a little late for. I don't know if it still counts. It's probably. Yeah, I think it's probably about 7-ish right now, so I don't know. Would it be considered afternoon or evening about 7 or so in Australia? I genuinely do not know. We'll see. But anyways, see you later. Hope you enjoy this video, and yeah, peace out.